From the boundaries of the universe to the depth of your soul. Embark on a journey through the unknown and unexplained. Hello, and welcome to Universal Studios Hollywood. I'm Patrick McNee. Inside the realms of the unknown, we search and explore our mysterious world and whatever may haunt our imagination. Hollywood, a place where everything is possible, where phantoms from the silver screen visit from another world, the world beyond the grave. The Hollywood Roosevelt Hotel used to be the gathering place for stars during Hollywood's golden era. The hotel is rich with the spirit of Hollywood. But do Hollywood spirits still visit? During the making of the movie From Here to Eternity, Montgomery Clift lived on the 9th floor of the Hollywood Roosevelt Hotel. He stayed for over 3 months. After shooting each day, he would return to the hotel and spend hours rehearsing his lines and playing the bugle, which he had to learn for the movie. Since his death, guests and employees of the hotel have reported many times that late at night, they hear the sound of a bugle playing in the hallway near room 928, Montgomery Clift's room. Terrell Valaza was hired as a cocktail waitress, but also helped with the renovation of the hotel before its grand reopening in 1986.
First week here, it was good. The beginning of the second week is when I was getting off the 9th floor elevator and I was walking down the hall and I heard footsteps behind me. I turned around to see if there was anybody following me and there was nobody there. And then as I was continuing to walk, I felt a cold breeze like walk right by me. And I went down in the elevator and never went back up.
What was it that brushed past Terrell Valaza in the hallway? Could it still be Montgomery Clift playing his bugle after all these years? Ghost experts believe sightings such as these are examples of spirits returning to places where they enjoyed happy times in life. Actor Clifton Webb, who was nominated for 3 Academy Awards, lived here with his mother, Mabel. He was very superstitious, and when she died, he locked all her clothes away and never entered the room. He believed her ghost still lived there. Clifton is no longer with us either. Or is he? New tenants claim chairs move by themselves, cigarettes break, and their cats disappear. Oh, by the way, Clifton Webb hated cats and cigarettes. This is Runyon Canyon, an overgrown wilderness located in the heart of Hollywood. In 1983, the city of Los Angeles purchased the canyon and established a park on the site of a former estate known as the Pines. The magnificent estate in Runyon Canyon was first built by singing star John McCormick in the 30s and later bought by AMP heir Huntington Hartford. But the place was abandoned in the 60s and the lavishly landscaped grounds left for ruin. What was once the site of wild Hollywood parties, frequented by such stars as Errol Flynn, eventually crumbled and decayed. All that's left now is a virtual ghost estate. Residents say they hear sounds of a party and have seen strange multicolored lights coming from the 2nd story of where the main house once stood. But the bizarre sightings go even further. Neighborhood resident Tracy Vivot is a waitress during the day and one of several who have witnessed unusual phenomena.
I just lived down the street from the park, so I used to come up here jogging after work. And one day I came after work. It was a little later than I usually come. So I started jogging up the hill, and all of a sudden I felt this cool cold air brushed past me. It was a little unnerving, and especially, I mean, it was the middle of the summertime. It was July, so I turned around and I jogged back down the hill. And I started just doing some easy stretching. And I was bending over and I caught something on the corner of my eye. And I turned and I saw this figure, this man, and he was on this bottom of these stairs, and he looked at me and he froze. And he turned around and he walked up the stairs and he just walked right off into nowhere. I mean, he vanished, and after he left, I went over to the stairs, and the stairs just end. So if it was like a real person, they would have had to jump down or something, but this ghost, or I don't know what it was, it just sort of went right out into nowhere. I left, and I don't come here anymore.
Ever since he uttered the words, "I never drink wine," Bela Lugosi became immortalized as the nocturnal Count Dracula. The years following the 1931 release of Dracula proved unkind to the talented actor. Lugosi never escaped Dracula. In 1956, he died, broken, forgotten, in a shabby one-bedroom apartment. His last request was that he be buried in his original Dracula costume forever. After all, he may be back. A vision of the Virgin Mother, an image of holiness, giving hope to those who believe and healing the ones who are sick. In their thousands, people flocked to witness this miracle, to feel the touch of her spirit and to gain courage for the future.
Just north of California City, thousands flock to a small valley in the Mojave Desert to catch a vision of the Virgin Mary. Faithfully, believers and non-believers come the 13th of every month for spiritual transformation and healing from prayers and blessings of the Mother of Jesus herself.
We came here in August. This is our 5th time being here today. In August we came and I didn't see anything, but my children had saw the Virgin Mary and they cried. And then we came back again in September and we saw the Virgin Mary, and I saw her myself. I saw her today. She was real small. She was looking at everybody from the sky.
While some of the faithful can see the apparition, the image and messages from the Blessed Mother, known as Our Lady of the Rock, are given to Maria Paula, a pious Catholic from Mexico who first saw the vision in 1989. Her meeting with the Holy Mother was foreseen by her 3-year-old daughter, who at the time was in intensive care with leukemia. She told her mother to look for a sign in the mountains.
I started climbing the mountain and saw a rock. I was going to step on the rock. I wasn't wearing shoes since I wanted to climb quickly. But this rock wasn't a rock, it was a snake. I heard a very nice sound like a fine fabric. Birds were singing, and when I was going to turn around, I heard her voice say, "No, don't look back, only look at me, and you're going to be safe. I am the Lady of the Rock, the Queen of Peace of Southern California." She came on a cloud when I saw her. When I looked over there, the sun was so beautiful. Behind her, a bright ray of light. I could see her face so clearly, her eyes, brown hair, and rosy cheeks. Her nose and mouth were the most perfect things you could see.
At the apparition site, people line up according to their illness, physical, spiritual, and even terminal. Some of those who come to see Maria Paula and hear the messages from the Virgin Mary have claimed miraculous healing. Maria de Mesa, a registered nurse, says her lupus was cured.
Maria Paula prayed over me, and then after that I told Maria Paula, "Oh, you know, because I have lupus, you know," and then she told me, no lupus, no lupus. I said, "Mama Paula, I have lupus," and she keeps on insisting that I don't have the lupus.
Another woman, Frances Pondo, has experienced miraculous healing.
After I got out of the hospital and I was a little strong enough to come, I came. They brought me by wheelchair and I came 3 times. And after that, I've been coming.
Did a physical change come over her while she was in the presence of Maria Paula?
The first time when the wheelchair, no. The second time, I was able to stand. And then Maria Paula, she prayed on me and she touched me and I felt heat. And then after that, I started getting better slowly.
People who claim to see visions of the Virgin Mary or other saintly apparitions are put through rigorous testing to determine their authenticity. Father Juan Santillan of Our Lady Help of Christians Church describes the Church's position on these cases.
Normally, when it's brought to the particular priest, the individual priest, he will have to see, first of all, that that person, how's their family life? Psychologically, their stability, their emotional life. Then what are the things that begin to occur that might give indication that there's a possibility of it being on the part of the divine? And normally you'll find that sometimes humans, there's a tremendous need for attention. There's a tremendous need of being someone and to be in the limelight. There is so much confusion. There is so much neglect. There is so much abandonment. There is so much maltreatment of humans against humans that humans need some of that little supernatural, maybe to make them come back to their senses.
According to belief, the apparition is seen by the devout, or those the Virgin Mary chooses. The Blessed Mother also allows herself to be photographed as a gift.
But then when you have a Polaroid and other regular cameras and different Polaroids, and they're all focusing on the same section, and each one has a different picture of that reality, then you can't help but think, well, something might be happening here.
The strength of personal faith and Maria Paula's healing abilities are tested almost every day. Edward Martinez came from Arizona to confide in Father Juan's terminal diagnosis of cancer.
8 weeks ago, I guess it was, I was diagnosed as having a very rare cancer. It's called thymoma. It's a fast-spreading cancer. And they had told me that if I didn't go through the chemotherapy and radiation, that I probably had about 6 months or less. I had just about almost given up. I mean, and I'm not the kind of guy that gives up, but when they told me up there that that's all the time I had left, it's kind of hard to take.
Whether he will be healed remains to be seen.
Feel the heat in your legs. Watch it come up.
This is coming up.
It's coming up.
Yes.
The heat is coming up?
Yes.
You're right?
Yeah.
Hmm?
Yes.
Visions of the Virgin Mary have been occurring for centuries. Only in this century have they become documented and officially approved by the Church. Though Our Lady of the Rock is not yet recognized by the Church, the surprising aspect of this supernatural experience is that the message is almost always the same. It's up to us to decide if we want to listen to it or not.
Repent, my children, because time is short. Our Blessed Mother says we should be careful with our actions, for this will bring you to salvation or the loss of your soul. Let's go with caution, my brothers. Clean up the confusion of our human hearts.
A vision of the Virgin Mary comes to Maria Paula 1 to 3 times a day. When I interviewed her, she claimed the image appeared twice and a statue of the Virgin wept.
I have to, at this point, play the devil's advocate. I can't say whether I believe it or not believe it. There's many things that I'm beginning to accept. On a truthful basis, I don't need visions. I don't need to see angels. I don't need to see the Blessed Mother. I don't need to see our Lord. My faith is already set, and that's all I need.
A remedy for incurable illnesses. Earth's own wonder drug in the form of a mushroom. The kombucha mushroom is used to heal diseases which modern medicine has failed to relieve. Claims of its success has surpassed all expectation. Is this fungus an overrated mushroom or a miracle of Earth?
Since the beginning of time, man has turned to nature for healing. He has sought remedies from the forest, the ocean, and the desert. To combat crippling diseases like AIDS and cancer, there is a renewed interest in discovering nature's alternative cures. The kombucha mushroom craze first started in Los Angeles about a year ago. Kombucha is thought to have Far Eastern origins dating back 2,000 years. Many believe the rediscovery of kombucha is the universe's way of helping us out.
What I saw was space travelers from the future traveling back in time with the mushroom, planting the mushroom just so it would be here right at this moment in time when we need this kind of support from the life force of this universe.
Betsy Pryor is the co-founder of Laurel Farms, which distributes the kombucha internationally. I asked Betsy how she became involved with the AIDS community.
I was reading the Los Angeles Times one morning, and I noticed that AIDS Project Los Angeles was looking for volunteers. I was busy editing a book, so I couldn't come in myself, but I thought, you know, I think I'll volunteer my kombucha. And that was back in August of 1993, and that's how the kombucha got into the AIDS community.
Betsy's partner, Norman Baker, invited us to his home to see how the kombucha is grown.
Thank you. I'm very excited about being here.
We're excited to have you.
Let's go see what you got.
Please, come on in. This is where we keep the kombucha mushrooms. Basically, we have the kombuchas in 4-quart Pyrex bowls, and they stay in their quiet, dark space for 7 to 10 days, and basically drink the sugar tea water and produce the baby mushrooms. And they just love it in here. They really do.
This extraterrestrial-looking mushroom is, in fact, not a mushroom at all, but a symbiosis of yeast cells and bacteria. You don't actually eat the kombucha, you make tea with it.
In essence, it is funny looking, it's funny tasting, but people love it. And that's the key. Well, when people call us from all over the country, and we receive over 100 calls every day nationwide, to the ultimate stories of saying, Mr. Baker, Betsy, we're alive. We're not supposed to be. The doctor said we should have died 2 weeks ago. The bottom line is we've drank your tea, and it's the kombucha tea. We're alive. Our hair's grown back, our energy level, our skin's looking better. The tea is a gift from God. It's something that somehow has made a difference in our life.
The kombucha is shipped from Laurel Farms with a special message to all its recipients. Expect a miracle.
So how does the FDA react to you?
There is nothing that we're doing that is out of line with the FDA, because we tell people to always consult their physician. If they have any health challenges, if they're going to drink the kombucha tea, we tell people that they should always show our literature to their doctors before they start drinking this tea.
Every year there seems to be a new fad that brings hope to AIDS patients. Is the kombucha just another fad?
When somebody's usually doing a fad, they're taking money, and I take no money for this project. All the money that comes in goes to subsidize people with cancer, AIDS, and MS around the country. But that's the least amount. The main purpose is, like, why would full-blown AIDS people who are actually seeing their T cells climb, why would they pass it on to their best friends with full-blown AIDS if they weren't seeing the results? And that's what's happening nationwide, and that's the ultimate compliment that they can pay us by passing the kombucha on to their best friends, and that's what's happening.
There was no way I could leave without tasting the kombucha tea.
I'm looking forward to this.
Very good.
To our health?
To our health.
It tasted tart like vinegar. But who cares about the taste if it does everything it's supposed to do? Jeff Neff is the resident treatment advocate of the AIDS Service Center, which provides education and support services to people with AIDS. He's troubled that kombucha is just another in a long line of fads, or even worse.
We don't know if the effects are permanent or if they even exist, because no clinical trial has ever been done on the kombucha mushroom. Part of the problem with the kombucha mushroom, again, is the fact that it's grown in a tea and sugar solution. So it could be that a lot of the energy boosts that people are experiencing are actually caffeine and sugar rushes from the solution itself. I definitely think that someone should be very careful. They should try and investigate the so-called properties of the kombucha mushroom and its effects, that they should rely on scientific information rather than word of mouth.
Meanwhile, at Laurel Farms, the miraculous stories continue to pour in.
After 7 months virtually bedridden with chronic fatigue, I started kombucha, and 2 days later I was vacuuming.
I've been drinking the tea for about a month now, and I feel incredibly energetic.
I suffered a ruptured implant, silicone implant, and began to have autoimmune problems, chronic fatigue problems, pain in the muscles and in the nerve endings, to the point where I was unable to use my arms and my hands and was in constant pain. I reached a point where I was unable to work. When I began taking the tea, immediately I felt energy.
The moment I tasted the tea, I realized that there was a life force in it that was very thrilling to my body.
So is the kombucha mushroom a miracle?
I'd have to say, in talking with all these thousands of people every week, kombucha is a miracle from God.
A person with HIV cannot expect a single treatment like the kombucha mushroom to be the miracle cure for AIDS.
I think the kombucha mushroom is a miracle because when I drink it, I can taste the life force within it, and that's a miracle for me.
Miracle or fad? We may never know for sure, but legend has it that if treated kindly, the kombucha mushroom will accompany you for life. I think Norman would agree. He sings to the mushrooms every day to create spiritual harmony with the universe.
And now that's the chant to the mushrooms.
The kombuchas are then sent out into the world, like the ancient prophecy, to go forth and multiply. This is one miracle the post office can deliver.
As the full moon rises, the man transforms into a savage beast who howls in the darkness and hunts for the kill. Some call it the devil in disguise. We call it the werewolf. Is it a mere legend, or does this half-human species truly exist?
Even a man who is pure at heart and says his prayers by night will turn into a wolf when the wolfbane blooms and the autumn moon is full and bright. Those words were spoken by the gypsy woman Mileva, played by legendary Russian actress Maria Uspenskaya in the 1941 Universal release of The Wolfman. It's filmed right here, as a matter of fact. It also featured another young star by the name of Lon Chaney Jr., who played a part of The Wolfman. But that's the movies, right? I mean, werewolves don't exist in real life. Not in present day, do they? We know werewolves in mythology and modern horror stories. This is where we expect them to stay, in our fantasies. But through centuries, mutilated bodies of innocent victims have created legends of werewolf attacks. There has even been reports of sightings of these beasts. Dating back centuries, the most common belief was that werewolves were a creation of the devil, or may even be a witch's revenge. All the legends had one thing in common. Werewolves were never detected during the day. It was at night when these creatures lurked from the shadows. Stimulated by the full moon and forced by an inexplicable desire, the man-wolf set out to get his victim for no other reason but for the urge to kill. Could some men somehow transform themselves into demonic, hairy monsters which prowl when the moon is full? Even if there were a remote chance of that happening, it would be too bizarre to be believable. Or would it? In fact, Doctors have a medical term for this werewolf-type syndrome: lycanthropy. They say that in every one of us lies secret, savage desires, safely stored away. Most of us keep those desires under tap, but then there are those who are overwhelmed by ancient memories of when humans were hunters and killers. Thus is born a man-wolf. Although lycanthropy can be triggered by several mental conditions, the fact remains that it exists. Dr. Gerard Fieldman, a psychiatrist, treats people who suffer from lycanthropy. He told us the reason why it is not a widely publicized issue is fear of prosecution, because his patients have killed.
Lycanthropy has never been used in court as the grounds for committing murder. With all the skeptics out there, it would be impossible to prove.
Dr. Fieldman told us the killings were almost never traced back to his patients because the victims are total strangers. People with lycanthropy suffer from a physical and hormonal imbalance which affects both brain and body. Dr. Fieldman says his patients are normal people in everyday life. We met one of his patients. If we expected someone with fangs and yellow eyes, well, we were disappointed.
When I look at other people, they look normal, I guess, like I do, and sometimes I just wonder, do they feel the same way I do? Do they have the same kind of urges I do?
When excessive amounts of hormones are discharged in the body, it could have a major effect on someone, mentally and physically.
With some patients, there's an incredible transformation. Facial hair develops, there's an increase in physical strength, there's a craving for human blood. And then they develop a delusion of being a wolf.
Certain times of the month, these symptoms reach full-blown status.
There's no question about it. The full moon is my worst enemy.
The dangerous part is that lycanthropy causes an irresistible impulse to hunt and destroy.
Have I killed people? Can you ask me something else?
Believe me, these people kill. It's out of their control. It's not someone just having a bad day.
It's horrible. I mean, people just don't understand, the living hell that it is. I mean, this isn't Hollywood. It's not like in the movie Wolf, where Jack Nicholson gets the girl and everything works out. I mean, it's a living hell. It's lonely and it's horrible.
Although our interviews merely show the possibility of so-called werewolves in modern society, no proof exists of killings in the last century by these people. But as they say, no one is prepared to rush forward and admit to senseless bloodshed. So next time when the moon is full and you feel a twinge in your stomach and your hands begin to shake, you may become a werewolf. Or you may have indigestion. In either case, you'll feel better in the morning.
A tragic accident more than 40 years ago created a legend of little guardian angels at a railroad track. Is it possible that spirits could watch over us and protect us from potential harm?
More often than not, ghost stories are frightening, but even more frightening when the story is true. Let's go back to the south side of San Antonio.
It was late one evening in 1984 when Paula Williams was driving home from work, taking her usual route. A young girl standing alone on the side of the road caught her attention.
Are you all right? Do you need a ride?
The girl only nodded a yes and got in the car.
What's your name, honey?
She gave Paula her name and pointed to where she lived.
Cindy Sue.
Cindy Sue was extremely quiet and seemed to stare through Paula. It unnerved her. As they drove, they passed over some railroad tracks. Cindy Sue's eyes met the sign and locked. At her house, Cindy Sue remained in the car. Paula thought she might be having problems at home and suggested that she would go first and talk to her parents. Paula told the woman who answered the door her daughter, Cindy Sue, was waiting in the car.
Hello.
She started yelling and even threatened to call the police if Paula didn't get off her property. Then she said the strangest thing.
Just let Cindy Sue rest in peace.
Paula was taken back by the strange turn of events and walked back to the car, confused. When she got to the car, no one was there. Paula remembered Cindy Sue fastening her seatbelt and locking her door. The door was still locked and the seatbelt still fastened, but Cindy Sue had vanished. It was on her way back when Paula remembered why everything felt so unsettling. It was the street names near the railroad track. All of them the names which belonged to children. Behind this discovery was the tragic tale of innocent children, and even more so, their remaining spirits. Okay, so Roy, where are we?
We're out on the southern part of San Antonio on Mission Road.
Now this is the famous road, right?
This is the famous road where the children were killed in the bus accident back in the 40s.
It was a cold but clear afternoon when a school bus was making its last delivery of school children. About 10 children were still on the bus. The bus had to cross the railroad tracks. There was no warning of the oncoming train.
The bus stalled on the track and the train come along, and before the kids could get off, it hit the school bus and killed all the kids.
This disastrous accident started a legend that motivated many people to come to these tracks.
From any of these places here, you can stop your car, completely stop it, turn the motor off and leave it in neutral, and it will pick up speed all the way till it gets across the railroad track.
The strange thing about this is that the road doesn't go downhill. It doesn't even run level.
If you look to the railroad track, it appears that the road is elevated.
There's no question. I mean, I can see a hill going up. Okay, how do these cars get up the hill by themselves?
If people's cars stall or something, these children supposedly pushes the car across the track to safety.
It's come through the safety zone.
And once they're safe of the railroad track, then the car stops.
Skeptics say the explanation may be a magnetic field in the area. But how do they explain what happens next? Fingerprints on the back of the cars, as if some imaginary hands pushed it forward. Putting powder on the back of the car helps to see the fingerprints clearly. They say on the bumper and on the trunk. I think with the wind, we'll do it right here and see what happens. I'm determined to check it out for myself. I watched a couple of cars do it, but just to see if it can really happen. This is about where they say they stop. Turn the car off, put it in neutral. Take my foot off the brake. And just sit here and start going. And it's beginning to pick up speed. This is amazing. No hands, no feet. This car is just going on its own. Across the railroad track, I'm gonna have to brake because now we're gonna go downhill. There was no doubt in my mind the car was pushed over those tracks. Was it gravity, or was it the legendary little spirits? There was only one way to find out, and there it was. I could feel my heart beating. Possible finger marks right here. And a couple of prints right here. Well, that really is pretty amazing. Although we weren't able to find anyone to verify every detail of this story, one fact does remain. There hasn't been a single train accident on this set of tracks since the children's tragedy in the 1940s. Somehow, every stalled car has managed to cross the tracks, reaching the other side in safety. There was one thing I still wanted to find out. What did Paula see that night?
on her way back home.
This is the neighborhood supposedly where they have street signs with the children's names from the accident.
Bobby, Alan, Nancy, Carol. It was here in the streets close to the railroad tracks where we found the answer to Paula's mysterious young rider who never reached her house that fateful afternoon. Cindy Sue.
His prophecies predicted world wars, natural disasters, and man's landing on the moon. History has revealed the truth of these foretellings. But it's the future we're concerned with now. Could we change the course of our future if we listen to his warnings? Nostradamus lived in the 1500s, a time of fear and superstition, when plagues ravished the earth and the church ruled the fate of people. He had visions of mankind's terrible future and its own destruction. Not unlike our time, many people then believed that his predictions were satanic. The church would put him to trial.
That's him! That's Nostradamus!
You are accused of the worst of all crimes, black magic, alchemy, worship of the devil.
He would continue his work, however, feeling that it was his duty to inform us of our fate, so we could change it and create a better future for ourselves. His predictions that have come true: World War I and the beginning of communism, World War II, the rise of the Third Reich, Jewish massacres, the atom bomb attacks on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and natural disasters. He also predicted the advancement mankind would make, the invention of aircraft, the first landing on the moon, and man's constant search for answers in space. These advancements will not go without mistakes, disastrous mistakes. The Vietnam War, a war out of control, and the Challenger, a dream shattered. Dolores Cannon is the leading expert on the Nostradamus predictions today. In 1986, something unexpectedly happened to her. As a past life hypnotherapist, she conducted what she thought would be a normal past life regression. A patient went back to a past life when she was a male student of Nostradamus. Nostradamus spoke through this patient.
He came through her and he said, "I have an assignment for you." He could see that his prophecies were not being correctly interpreted. He said, "The time is coming when they're going to come true."
They have to warn people. If they keep on like this, they will destroy everything. Nature, themselves.
Nostradamus gave Dolores the correct meanings of his predictions one by one. It took 3 years and 12 hypnotic subjects to complete the work.
And we have shown now that some of the prophecies have already begun to come true.
In the world's history, thousands of people were killed by plagues, epidemics, illnesses with no cures. Not unlike our own time that has been struck with its own plague, AIDS. The date of the Gulf War was given to Cannon long before it occurred.
Because he said, "You don't know how important this is. This is the beginning of everything. This is actually the beginning of the Third World War." But there would be one man behind the scene during all of this time. This is the third Antichrist.
Nostradamus saw 3 antichrists in the course of Earth's existence. 2 were already predicted correctly, and we know them: Napoleon, Hitler. The third has already been born, and said to be the worst of them all. Nostradamus gave Dolores Cannon a detailed description of the third Antichrist and even a sketch drawing of him through the help of an artist. He was born on February the 4th, 1962, in Jerusalem. In 1987, he was a student at an Egyptian college specializing in computers, business, and philosophy. Presently, he is in the background of everything that is happening in the Middle East. He is described by Nostradamus as an extremely handsome man with tremendous charisma. At first, he will appear as a savior and the man with all the answers. But he will be the opposite of what he appears to be. He will be the sheep in wolf's clothing. His work is secretly done now. How many of us know him already? There were more events predicted for our future that Nostradamus wanted us to be aware of. The Nazi Party will slowly but surely return to power during the 90s. It will come to light that hurricanes are a man-made event brought about by scientists attempting to control the weather. The next 2 decades will mark the downfall of the Catholic Church. The Earth's continents will shift with the rising of the ocean's water levels. This could occur during the next 4 decades. These are just to mention a few. Nostradamus also gave us a glimpse of a wonderful time to come. He saw a man whom he called the Great Genius, an important figure whose coming would balance out all the evil in the world. The Great Genius would invent great wonders, and he would reign in the 1,000 years of peace when we would be traveling through the cosmos and living in space colonies. One question remains to be answered, though. How could we explain all of this?
I want to bring out a very important point that really shakes people up. In my work with him, he was most emphatic by saying, you are not speaking to the dead when we are communicating. We are communicating through time. It's the concept of simultaneous time, that there is no time.
Could we prepare ourselves for Armageddon?
Nostradamus saw the end of the world, but he said it's so far in the future you don't need to worry about it.
Cannon merely sees herself as a reporter with only the well-being of mankind at heart. Nostradamus said that people underestimate the power of their own minds. He said that it is up to us to change the world's fate and create a better future for ourselves. How could we possibly ignore this? The hero's name is tarnished by a bloody glove. The masses cry for vengeance, but truth prevails. 1995 finds him free. The true monster confesses and loses his soul in 18 months. This prediction by Nostradamus sounds familiar to all who know about the Simpson case. Even the most skeptical begin to wonder. For every mystery hidden deep within the walls of the universe, there are many more buried beneath the sand. A never-ending circle of secrets just waiting to be discovered. Thank you for joining us. I'm Patrick McNee.